We quickly need to go and get some reaction following this big story, the announcement that was made a bit early on by the Correctional Services Commissioner on the remissions of former President Jacob Zuma. We now cross to Jayed Paulse, who will be talking to the ANC Provincial Chairperson in KwaZulu-Natal, Siboniso Duma. Jayed Lee, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. Over to you.
Well, a very good morning to you, Aldrin, and I'm sure many people who woke up this morning, particularly in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal, were really concerned about what they were going to hear. As you know, the 2021 July unrest really rocked those two provinces, and the debate around the former President Jacob Zuma, would he return to escort facility or would he, be able to go back home to Nkandla? Yes, he has received a remission, and we are getting reaction on the ground from various political parties. But here in KwaZulu-Natal, I'm going to be bringing you the latest. We are going to be speaking to the ANC Chairperson, Siboniso Duma. Thank you so much for joining us and availing yourself. Mr. Duma, just reaction from the African National Congress in the province regarding the former president's remission.
Good morning to your good self, Jayed, and alternate studio, and to our viewers at home. I'm sure you know this is a delicacy because the president had to balance a very fine skewed matter between the legality and politics, and we just want to profusely thank the president of the country, His Excellency Matamela Ramaphosa, the Minister Lamola, for ensuring that we had to come up with this result, because you know what transpired in the past, and I'm glad how they defined it. It shows that they are both legal gurus and also advanced politicians who know how to balance a very skewed equation, as I've already mentioned, because you know that as the province in KwaZulu-Natal, we were praying for this moment and we were praying for something of this nature so that we could sleep. We are very glad that the revolutionary giant Comrade Mshalozi is going to be at home today, because he remains the echelon and embodiment of unity within the province of KwaZulu-Natal and in South Africa at large, and is someone who's very respected across the board. The traditional leaders have taken very serious the religious sector in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and we want to thank the calmness that came from the province of KwaZulu-Natal, the society at large, even for a constant prayer of ensuring that JZ at the end of the day must be at home. So this remission was applied correctly, promptly, and the president were able to balance the process of ensuring that we abide by the law, but at the same time we mainstream what is correctly on the proper platform.
Chairperson, I just want to talk about the July unrest. Obviously, there was concerns with regards to what could possibly transpire, and maybe a repeat, if one could say, if the former president went back to prison. But just with regards to the African National Congress, what it meant for the party as well, as we're gearing up for the elections next year.
I'm glad this process had to happen this way. I think I've already mentioned that there is a maturity amongst our communities, because instantly after that we had to go deeper on the ground, delve deeper in ensuring that we engage with our people. They've obviously mentioned that they were not happy about that process, but they understand, because economical, as the province of KwaZulu-Natal, remember there was COVID-19, remember there were floods, then the July unrest. It meant that the economic outlook of the province, our people were going to suffer. As you know, the issue of unemployment is still rife in the province. So I think we are glad that this process has been managed in this way, because you just have to mention, that is why I'm thanking the president in particular for ensuring that that Section 82J is applied correctly. But we also want to thank JZ for ensuring that is also submitting, that is also abiding in, is following all the prescripts of the law, which is why he had to wake early in the morning, go to escort as a law-abiding citizen, as someone who has fought so hard for this freedom that we have attained as a country. So those issues are critical, and the people of KwaZulu-Natal, I'm sure they are delighted, as we are as the ANC, and we're at this point in time we are slowly recouping what must be done at the level of us, at the level of government, at the level of society, at the level of all stakeholders, and I'm sure this is going to give us a nice traction for us to campaign clearly for 2024.
And just talking about the campaigning as well, are we going to be asking the former president to also jump aboard the electioneering next year? And I'm sure this is also going to bring about unity within the party.
Very nice unity that is going to emerge out of this. But I must mention that the racist DA and the AfriForum are the causal effect of this thing, because it must not be left alone there as if this thing has to happen, because it is the DA that has to make sure, because they thought this is going to collapse the image of the ANC. This was going to collapse the image of the country. And you know the hegemony of the state is very critical. But as the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we are happy. We've started the process of outreach. We do the outreach as the ANC, then government comes back and respond promptly on those measures. And people are very excited. They are saying that as long as you implement all the machinery element, all the promises, there's the ANC. We are happy and we'll be delighted just to come and vote for you. I'm sure you have seen our municipality are already retaining what is belonging to the society. eThekwini has bought 50 trucks of water tanks that are going to assist our communities, the issue of water scarcity. They've also bought 25 cutting machine just to ensure that we maintain the veg in our areas, and almost all our municipality have started the process. So we are shaping the ground, and the opposition is shaken. That is why you'll see the pact of a special type. It's nothing new. It's just a remnant of apartheid regime. They are trying by all means to continue expressing their will of oppressing our people.
Chair, are you going to be visiting the former president?
Former president is a member of the ANC in good standing, as you know, that is also currently leading SANCO, is one of our own. We interact, there is nice collegiality. He knows that the ANC is the only vehicle that is going to totally liberate Africans in particular in the context of South Africa. So as we speak, he knows that he has already started. I'm sure you saw him campaign at Josiah, that is Lady Smith, around his court area. He has campaigned at eThekwini. He has campaigned as well in Newcastle when we have by-election. So I'm sure he's going to follow that process. He is the son of the soil. He knows what it means for KwaZulu-Natal to be liberated because he contributed so much. Yet remember that while he was a chairperson, he was leading the ANC in opposition benches, then eventually worked so much as a DSG. So he will never want us to go back to Egypt.
So you'll definitely be working with the former president to make sure you clinch the province next year.
That's definitely, and we're just going to make sure that we take ANC higher, higher and higher, and we return our majority in ensuring that we lead KwaZulu-Natal, and we contribute towards the part of ensuring that we retain South Africa as the ANC, the ruling party, to continue to change the people's lives.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Well, Aldrin, that was the ANC chairperson in the province, Siboniso Duma, just talking to us about the reaction on the ground from the ANC with regards to the former president's remission, also speaking about next year's elections and possibly working with former president to ensure that the numbers pick up within the party. And with that, I'll hand back to you in studio.